portion of our Dungeons of Chaos playthrough. Now, in the last segment, we actually spoke with the Flame, and then we just kind of walked up the western seaboard, dealt with a few monsters there, and explored the brand new feature for our patch 1.4.35. If you have not updated that, I'd recommend go ahead and doing that. Now, we're at the Lich's Tower. Now, I want to preface this with, this is the actually second time that I've started this video. First time I actually ended up getting through the first floor, and then I forgot to connect my power charger, and so my tablet died. Luckily, I actually saved before that after defeating the specters, but the video was actually wiped because it didn't have a chance to actually save cleanly. So, when we enter the first floor, keep in mind that there will be two roaming groups of specters. And it is relatively dark, as you see here. Let's go ahead and throw light on and explore. And the tactics concerning the specters we'll go through once we encounter them again. Now, I went ahead and put up a Wizard's Eye to see if there's any secrets hidden out down here. The first floor is relatively easy. You have a couple of chests, a broken chest, some skeletons. That's actually a pretty decent axe, and especially with that strength, this would be doing quite a bit of damage. So let's go ahead and take all of that. Now that belt is pretty nice. It boosts dex, boosts mana, does magic reserve, so we're going to see if we can toss that on our mage. So this would be good for him. Let's continue looking around here. We got a couple of skeletons. Now these skeletons can have loot on them, so you don't want to leave any bone unturned. Now let's go up to the second floor. Alright, we are still searching if there's any secrets. Oh, something in that crate. Two more items. Yeah, standard Invidious longsword. That's nice, high chance of bleed. Not that I used that. We might, actually, I tell you what. If I remember right, our rogue is a little bit under strength to wield that crossbow. I was to say we can throw a sword onto our ranger and have him jump into melee again. Alright, we think monsters have noticed us, so they are lurking about somewhere. There is a door right here, so I imagine they're probably right there. I'm just at a recast light and Wizard's Eye, keep that up. Yep, here is our encounter. Now we have three specters. This might be a little tough. Specters are incorporeal, meaning that they don't have a physical form, and so physical melee attacks really don't hurt them. So these three, half our team is going to be kind of, well, will be pretty useless. But we have a secret weapon called Holy Chant, which we should be able to use to do some good damage here. Let's go ahead and put everybody on auto combat, kind of run forward here with our fighter. Once we get into combat range, exactly like that, we're going to throw Holy Chant up. Notice that damage does pretty well, but they are draining us quite a bit. We don't have another Holy Chant, but we do have another skill that will take undead out pretty good. And that's going to be Exorcism. Once we're in range here, Exorcism level 1 actually has a relatively small range. That's normally right adjacent or one back. And bam, 243. Notice that's actually quite a bit of experience points for us, which is good. Now we got magic missile increase on that. That's nice. But we're going to have to revive our fighter again. So let's go ahead. And here's a little trick here. There's multiple enemies on all these levels. And so you always want to clear the level, then you can back down the steps and heal and revive. Save. Again, our ranger leveled up, so we can go ahead and grab that. after we get everybody up here. This will be enough. Let's go ahead and crudely revive our fighter here. May take a couple of chances. There we go. Now again, that's just going to put him a little bit farther behind the experience curve. But again, fighters have the quickest experience gain and level gain across all the beginning courses. So again, if your fighter continuously dies, he's going to make that experience up a little bit later, in later portions. Accuracy bonus, 0 mana, that's okay. Rangers don't need any mana. 2 talent points. Alright. Now we did use Holy Chant, so I'm going to go ahead and rest and see if we can't get that reset. There we go. Our skills have reset. Let's go back up to the second floor here. Yep, not search. Let's throw Wizard's Eye back on. Let's keep light up. Now here's our second Spectre. Let's go ahead and get him out of the way and we'll go around the outer section. We're basically going to do the same thing, but try to keep our fighter alive a little bit better. Now we got a little extra here. This little thing, resist evil, is going to help our fighter survive quite a bit better. The Spectres actually do life drain, and so resist evil will help him with that. And then let's buff everybody. Again, he's still going to die, but we got majority of those Spectres out of the way. See how quickly that is? If we can keep our fighter alive a little bit longer, that's going to go a lot easier. That's just why we're here. Let's go ahead and grab these. Alright, there we go. Rock skin. Nice gold shield and another big hammer. That's going to be pretty good. Now we do lack the strength, or actually we're in the wrong class. We're going to need Warrior Knight or Berserker for those. So we can actually keep that. Once we spec to a new class, rock skin will be better. So let's just kind of throw that in our stash. We'll keep that for later. But is that shield a little bit better than what we have? No, our inheritance shield's still better. Alright, again, he is dead, so let's quickly, crudely revive him. And again, if you guys don't want to do all this and crudely revive and suffer an experience penalty, feel free to load and redo that battle. See, it's taken a while to revive him. And what I'm saying about it, since we have a large experience back, now we're going to miss that loot that we just got here. Instead of reset that, but let's go ahead and reset our fighter's experience. And let's try to redo that encounter and make it work for us. This time we got 2 Spectres instead of 3, so we might come out ahead on this one. Now, we're going to keep him on auto, but we're going to take him off. Alright, and we're going to go resist evil, holy chant. And I think we're going to have it keep resist evil up on. There we go. And he can probably go on. We have it. Holy chant stayed up, resist evil. As long as you keep those 2 up on your fighter, you should be good to go. Still, outrageous experience for the level that we're at. Now that's what I mean. Save often, and if you have to, repeat some things. See this go around, we got a gnarly staff, a smoldering pendant, and an unknown ring. And we don't have a nice rock skin to keep in our inventory in our stash for later, for when we spec tonight. But we're probably going to find something a little bit better than that once we get a little higher anyways. So, go ahead and top off with these. Again, I like to use healing hands outside of combat. That is just to level those up, because those are nice to have. And let's go ahead and rest before we go into the third floor. Now, another thing that will make the battles with the specters actually a lot easier is to have weapons that have damage to undead. That will give a percentage based off of the average or total damage and do it directly to them. Now, if the percentage is actually 100, it's going to actually do extra damage to them. So you want to find something with quite a bit of damage to undead to be able to really whack these specters. But again, if you don't have weapons like that, you can certainly do what we're doing here, is to use your holy chant, save, and then rest until that pops up again. And keep moving. It's a little bit slower. Now we got some skeletons here. They're physical form, so we shouldn't have too much of an issue on them. But we will use holy chant, because look how much damage comes out of that. Our ranger and our rogue went from doing damage in the teens to 10 times that amount. And we should have another skeleton right there behind it. Now, we could, in theory, go back down, rest, and get our skills back for the daily use. But since they are physical form, let's go ahead and run with them. And I'm going to actually bring our cleric along for the battle here. And we're going to go pick somebody with exorcism. See, our fighter's doing pretty good here. And blam, 306, and then our fighter finished him off. That is outstanding. If a cleric wasn't too squishy, he'd definitely be the killer of undead. Which is kind of what they're geared for. Traditionally, in high RPGs and high fantasy roles, clerics, they're there to slaughter undead and they're there to heal their party members. Let's go ahead and rest up. Now, it's taken quite a bit. We do have a little bit better mana reserve than what we did a couple of segments ago. So, their mana regen is quite slow. Now, that will increase with items. If you notice in the darkness here, we have a skeleton wandering around. We have a couple of them. So let's go ahead and save. And let's jump back at it and finish out these skeletons here. I'm saying skeletons and they're zombies. My bad, my correction here. Zombies. They got a little bit of fleshiness to them. They went down pretty quick. Alright. We're in decent shape. Let's go ahead and clear this out. He should be the last set of zombies. Kinda gotta wonder what happened to their clothes. Is that skin hanging on their bones, or is that some torn shirt and some shorts? Need a pause and zoom button so we can look at some details of these sprites. Alright, so that was the last encounter. Now our light spells and our wizard eye had dropped, but we don't have enough mana to cast wizard eye, so let's go ahead and rest for a little bit. I'm going to throw that back up. And let's look around here. Oh, we got a bookcase. Basics of Frostball. This changes a lot of things. Let's go to abilities, spells. No, oops. We didn't stop there, did we? Alright, now we're back after a little bit of technical difficulty. I'll probably edit that out and splice this together so it'll be a little bit seamless. Kinda. I accidentally threw my icon away, and actually you can barely see it there. Hopefully. I'm wiggling my finger over the icon. I accidentally threw it down somewhere, and it was very well hidden. And I thought I tossed our video away. But what we found on that bookcase, we found a spell book of Frostball. Basic Frostball. Which we're going to use. I'm going to throw a couple points into our druid. And yeah, let's go ahead. So he's got a nice proficiency skill here. Alright, now we need to throw these in our action bars here. He has a lot of our resist, but we're going to take Frostball. And Hotspot needs to be moved. Let's go ahead and move. Throw lightning back over there. A little bit of player upkeep, but it's okay. Let's take healing hands. And then for our mage, let's grab Frostball. We're never going to physically use mana funnel, so we don't need a hot tab for that. But Frostball already did throw up, so let's go ahead and replace that. There we go. Okay, Frostball is an area of effect frost spell that slows things. Alright, daily skills upgraded. Let's go ahead and rest because I don't know what's behind this door. Once we unlock it, we might get attacked. And we are quite famished on our mana. Again, save often, rest, and don't get caught off guard. And if you do, just reload. Speaking of which, save often. Alright, now let's go ahead and jump into here. Alright, it says, may be beyond our skills, but with some magic. Ta-da! And let's jump in here. Looks like a couple of sacks of flour, decorative bookcases, and no spell books, but we found a beat 'em club. With force damage, extra strength. That ain't bad. Force damage is pretty good on that mace, although I personally do not like blunts unless they're two-handed. Now that was over 1,000 gold. That was pretty nice. Nice two-handed sword. An elven sling. That's probably got quite a bit of damage. Nice little unknown longsword. Again, we'll maybe in the middle of the tower make a jaunt back to town. Basics of Wizard's Eye. Now, any spellbook that we get just increases our proficiency when we throw a talent point into it. So, when we go to train and we put a talent point, instead of being 2 or 3 proficiency increase, it can be 4, 5, and so on, which is always excellent. Now, that boosts the mana by 8%. That's going to be a lot better than what our cleric has, I believe. Or our mage. Actually, in one of them. Now, our druid has a 21% damage to undead, so he can just kind of hang on to that. Let's go ahead and we're going to take it. And we're going to equip that on our mage. That little bit of mana boost is going to be nice. Now, that mana boost goes to the base mana. Used to be a couple of episodes back. I'll say episodes, a couple of patches back, the mana boost applied and stacked. So, for instance, if you had a staff that was 25% mana, and you had a mana base of 100, you would be at 125. And then you take a ring that added another 10% to it, well, it wouldn't count as 10 for that 100, it would stack at 125, so it would add 12.5. And so we used to be able to, with mages and clerics, geomancers, wizards, as they spec a little higher, get mana pools, you know, in 25,000, 40,000 point range and be able to spam skills. Overpowered. This was a nice balancing mod because then we have to pay attention to mana reserves. Now with that in mind, let's go ahead and go up a level. And looks like we're going to have 2 back-to-back encounters here. Now there's a trick to this. If you don't want to take 2 specters back-to-back, especially since we only have 1 use of Holy Chant, we can go down and go back up. And it gives them a little time to spread out and wiggle around. And we're going to do that because I want that second specter to be off a little bit. Now see, they're even closer. There we go. Alright, so we may not have one immediately back to back. That way we can jump down the stairs. Alright, again, we're going to run out. We are going to throw Resist Evil, Holy Chant. And we're going to pop Resist Evil one more time. Go back to heals. Oh, we still died. Holy Chant dropped off. But I think we still might have this. Let me move my Cleric and ammo. Now again, although that worked, now we can always do Life's Little Etch-a-Sketch because we want to keep that fighter alive because he needs the level back up. Let's go ahead and retry that. We're back living, no deaths. Let's try to randomize this a little bit more, get them away from that door. See, they're down even closer. So, let's do one more little loading trick that helps randomize these just a little bit with where the monsters are at. And not too much of a change. They're still floating around right there. Alright, this time I'm going to take the Cleric along. I'm going to throw Resist Evil. I'm going to throw Heal. Holy Chant. Oh, we still died. But we finished it. Now we should have, well, I was going to say we should have a little bit of time in between those specters to do this. Now, we still have Exorcism, but we don't have Holy Chant, so this is going to be quite the fight. What we could do is we could leave it and jump ship on the battle so nobody else gets and reload. Or we could just, see how quickly they slaughter people. This is actually fairly quick. Right, let's go ahead. Frostball you. They didn't like that. Run away! Again, let's go ahead and try this. Reset. Let's jump back at it. And I think we're going to have to take one for the team. Yeah, we just don't have enough heals to throw at him. Again, specters are tough. You got to expect to lose a little bit. And if need be, we can always jump back. To Parnos and kind of level up and gear up a little bit. Now, we're not going to take these guys. Let's just go ahead and flee. Now, we are kind of stuck here, but again, I'm going to load this up. Maybe we can get a better chance here. Again, we're going to be stuck with these encounters the way we have saved. Now, I do want to pull auto tactics off real quick because instead of taking everybody on at once, everybody's to take a little bit of a hit. Rather keep everybody alive, but we're mitigate this set of specters. Again, no experience puts us a little behind the curve, but it's going to be okay. Now, if you notice, that stupid specter has stepped back a little bit. So let's go ahead and take him. We got another one off in the distance. So this floor is loaded quite a bit. And there's only 2. So let's go ahead and throw up auto here. We should be able to get them relatively easy if we get Holy Channel. And again, if there we go. See, it's just a matter of taking the hits when you want to take them and position yourself to get the victory. Now that was a little bit of a tedium on that, but it got us a foot in that floor. Now we do have a couple more specters on that level to clear. So if you want to continue this adventure with us, join us in the next part.